Good morning, everyone. I had a good night's sleep. We'll start our day here with a good homemade breakfast and be getting on trail at some point. There's no real rush. I think I'm only looking at doing like 15 miles or so and then trying to find this place where we can kind of stealth it off the road somewhere. And this is just the start of my breakfast. This stuff looks awesome. Here's the second plate of breakfast. This is a lot of food. I'm going to manage the best I can. Well, I did as best I could on that breakfast. I'm definitely full. Got all the food and supplies and everything I need for the next stretch. It'll be about 100 miles, but we are bouncing through a couple of small towns on the way, so I'll get a chance to resupply a little bit here and there. And I'm going to finish packing up, and we'll be back in the car and heading back to the Hartman Creek State Park area to start the day. So I'll just check back in once we're back towards the trail. We just got dropped off back in Hartman Creek State Park. Ready to continue this adventure. Big thank you again to Paula and Dan for hosting me. It's been a real treat. Love staying with you guys. Now we got about 5 miles or so, I think, of in the woods here. And then the rest of the day we'll be road walking until we can find some kind of suitable place to stealth it off in the woods somewhere. It's a beautiful morning for hiking. It rained all night last night. This is the start of the cooling trend, so this week it's going to be like high 75. I think it was in the 50s this morning. It's maybe warmed up a little to like 60 degrees. It's nice and sunny. There's no mosquitoes out right now, so it's great hiking weather. This little dirt road crossing should be the end of the Hartman Creek segment, going into the start of the Emmons Creek. Here's Emmons Creek, a beautiful little spot. This is my one and only water source for the day. Waters on this stretch is going to be really few and far between, like every 15 miles maybe. I gotta load up here. Mile of trail left, and then we're all road walking. I'm trying to enjoy it while I can. It's been a beautiful day this morning. There's a big military exercise going on for the next 2 weeks. I can hear them right overhead, but I can't see them. They're up at high altitude somewhere. Here's 2nd Avenue, and it's all road walking from here on out. So it must be the end of the Emmons Creek segment. That's an Army Chinook helicopter. I just saw him for a second. He's flying low enough. I get to see a little bit of the air war that's going on. There's something going on with this house on this side of the road. It's all fenced off. There's no paved driveway. Above the door it says District Number 3, 1913. I wonder what the story is on this place. So far it's been like the least trafficked road I've ever had to walk. There's no cars out here. Well, it's now noon. Found a little shady spot off the side of the road, so I think this will make a good place for lunch. The temperatures and weather today has been awesome. A little bit of clouds in the sky, the sun's out, about 75 degrees. It's not humid, just warm. A little bit of a breeze blowing through. That's awesome. So we'll be here for a good bit, and then back to the road walking. Done with lunch, back on the road. I was just looking ahead at the maps and things, and there's actually a small lake called Chain Lake, about 8 miles ahead, just off the side of the road. And that'll work as a great water source coming up. So it's not as bleak of water as I was thinking. So I think I'm gonna push to there, 8 miles ahead. Then we'll load up and then look for camping somewhere's immediately after, whatever looks good. There's something cool I want to mention. When I was in the Hartman Creek State Park, I passed 2 girls down the trail, and I didn't think much of it, probably day hikers. And then I got all the way to where I stopped for lunch, and I saw them again walking down the road as they passed me, so I was chatting with them for a second. They said they're doing a 20-mile stretch.
So they're doing all of like Hartman Creek State Park all the way through this whole road walk stretch, probably to where it starts the next in the woods segment. But they're like the first people on trail, I think, who's doing like a full section out of it. They weren't packed up to do any overnight stays, just some day bags and things, but there's not that many people on trail, so it's just kind of cool to see somebody out here who's doing some big miles. But these guys look like they're growing their own grapes. Guys got tank treads going on, that's awesome. That's funny, there's a Biden-Harris campaign sign, but since Biden dropped out, you just fold the sign in half and it's Harris, and it still works. And it looks like two more people out up ahead of me. Road walking always kind of sucks, but it is definitely a beautiful day out here. Well, made it to Chain Lake. There's my water source. Got a bushwhack down there and load up the best I can. That worked out all right. Loaded up with water, nice and heavy. And now from here, the next suitable place I can safely stealth in the woods is going to be camp. Hopefully not too much further. Here we go. I think this will be good enough. I'm right at a little road intersection, a little tucked away in the trees, right above where the road is at. Not near any houses by at least a quarter mile. I think we'll be good. So I think that's going to do it for today. Mission accomplished. It's always fun trying to find a good stealth site tucked away in the trees, out of the way. But we did a little more extra miles than I would have liked today, because tomorrow I'm hitting a DCA, so I'm going to try to make that mile marker. And that's only like 17 miles, I think, so a relatively short day for tomorrow, but we'll have a guaranteed spot that we're aiming for. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Successful stealth last night. Everything was pretty good about last night. The ground's a little bumpy though, and a little bit of road noise from this little road in the middle of nowhere, all through the night even. Cars every once in a while. But I got visited by a couple of animals, which was kind of cool. Some turkeys came through, some deer, lots of squirrels, and a pack of coyotes off in the distance somewhere I heard yipping at some point in the middle of the night. But we're starting out with a road walk. I think we have a couple of small sections through the woods for a bit here and there. One water source maybe for the day, about halfway through, but we're only doing like 17 miles or so. I'm not going to push it anymore for that today. We'll stick to kind of the distance plan and get to the DCA for today, so I'm sure I'll get there really early. I don't think I'll be able to slow my pace down. It's a nice and cool morning, crisp 50 degrees. I love these temperatures this whole next week or so. High of 75, feels like low humidity, nice and cool overnight. Little unnamed pond on the side of the road. I think that's a raccoon somebody got. Little hawk or something at the top of the tree up there. Got across Highway 73, a moderate amount of traffic here. Start of a segment. Deerfield. This bench has even got a little table. That's kind of cool. I love these beautiful pine forests. I'm just crossing this road for a second, and then back in the woods here. I'm still seeing the ghost pipe every once in a while. It's all for tree farming. I just got done walking up through this field. I found a little bench. Gonna dry some stuff out. Had some condensation last night. What I do here to hang stuff up is just slam my 2 trekking poles into the ground and just lay something right over the tops of the poles, and that works pretty good. Gotta air out my sleeping bag a little and hang out on this bench in honor of Mabel, 1881 to 72. That's a good long life. Ice Age rocks. Yup. This is the end of the Deerfield segment. Just a couple miles of road walking till we get to the next one. Well, just a little bit ago, there was the sound of a bunch of the military jets. They're doing their war games again. And somebody broke the sound barrier. Heard a nice little boom overhead. It was kind of cool. Here we are, Bone Lake. There's Bone Lake, our one and only water source for the day. So I'm gonna have to load up here, and we're carrying the last 8 miles or so, nice and heavy. Just gotta find a place where I can get some easy access to it. Well, that was mostly successful. I was trying to go out a little bit on those logs to get out of the murkier, swampier stuff into more of the fresh water. And I had a misstep and slipped, and my right foot went into the water above my sock. So my right foot's a little wet, but we'll deal with that. I've been thinking about mosquitoes, and they're significantly reduced ever since I left Anago or so. I don't know if I've ever had to wear the head net once even in the last week. There's still onesie-twosies out here, but they're not out by the millions anymore. Even though I have been doing a whole bunch more road walking, even in the wood segments like this. No mosquitoes. It's just little gnats in your face occasionally is the only annoyance now. That's it for the Bone Lake segment. Just a short road walk to the next one. Start of the Greenwood segment. It's a little past noon, and I'm definitely due for a sit-down lunch break, so I think we'll just park it right here before doing the next segment. We're done with lunch. We got about only 6 more miles left, I think, until camp. fun blowdowns to get through this stretch. This segment's broken up by just a short road walk. We'll be back in it in less than half a mile, I think. I've already slung my backpack off. Beautiful little sit-down bench area. This is called Pine Tree Point. A nice little landscape view, some wild grasslands. So we'll take a break here. I've got about 3 more miles to camp, I think. Well, this is nice. This guy Larry has been hanging out here. Came out to a little roadside parking lot, and he caught me. He caught the goob. So I got a beer. We've been chatting, talking about hiking. Got some water. Offered up other things, snacks and whatever else. So, oh man, it's just
Water
been awesome.
filter.
Yeah, extra water filters, but I'm all set there. So I've been taken care of for the last hour or so. We've just been hanging out and chatting, and it's kind of cool because today I have not been in too much of a rush. So again, thanks for everything. It's been cool meeting you.
Okay,
and,
good luck to the rest of your hike.
Yeah, man.
You're roughly at the halfway point.
Yeah, just about there.
Yeah.
So
You got the hard part out of the way too, just
yeah,
so you know.
yeah, the harder stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll get back on trail here in a second, and thanks again.
Okay.
Well, that was definitely a cool surprise coming out to a road crossing and meeting someone there looking for you. Thanks again to Larry. Well, we only got a couple more miles left until we get to the DCA I'm aiming for. I think we finish up this section, a little bit more of a road walk, enter a new segment, and then we're at camp. Well, this is it for the Greenwood segment. A little bit of road walking till the next one. There's some longhorn cattle. Look at these guys. Start of the next segment for the Mecan River. And this is the halfway point on your 1,200 mile journey. That's a cool surprise. But we're less than a mile to camp at this point, so we'll see you there. Nice little bench and table out front. This should be our exit. Yep. We'll go find a spot and get all set up. And there we go. One tent all set up. This is a nice little area. You can put 3 or 4 crammed in here if you wanted to fit them in tight. That's not so bad. And I think we're going to be done for the day. Nice and short, only like 17 miles, and then getting surprised by a couple of things at the end of the day. Larry with his trail magic, so thanks again. And then hitting the halfway point. I figured I was getting close to that, but I didn't know exactly where I'd see a sign or a marker or anything, so that was pretty cool. That was a nice little surprise. But tomorrow we're going to have to push it up a little bit. I think I'm aiming for like 23-ish miles tomorrow. We'll have to stealth somewhere, and I think we're hitting the bifurcation, which is kind of a cool milestone on trail too. That's where the trail splits in two, and you can take like an eastern route or a western route as we continue south here. So we'll be hitting that. We'll talk about that when we get there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.